Imagine you're a child immigrating to another country with just one parent, and then suddenly you find yourself alone with no one, no mother, no father, no sibling. And you grow up with this idea of your parent with this whole complete false narrative, which kind of paints a picture of yourself, right? You see yourself in a certain light. And then you become an adult and you find out that the narrative that you knew about your parent was completely false. What would you do as an adult to correct those mistakes of the past? I'm Fox Indigo, and I'm actually discussing the first season of Lupin on Netflix. And if you're one of those people who are into foreign films, or if you've watched this series already, then I want you to actually stay with me as I review the first season. Just go ahead and discuss the highlights, what I enjoyed about it, what I kind of could have just left, behind, the withouts. I could do without that. And if you haven't watched it, I'll do my best not to have that many spoiler alerts. And if you have watched it, please, after you've listened to the podcast, can you please leave me a review, a comment? Let me know if you agree with what I'm saying about the first series. And go ahead and share this with anybody else who's watched the first season as well, or is interested in watching the first season, or who is into just watching different movies and television from all around the world. But until then, one moment, because Anchor is our sponsor today, and I believe that they have something to say. I want to say something to Anchor. Thank you, Anchor. Greetings, friend. I'm Fox Indigo, and you're listening to Fox on Flix with Friends. I'm your Black movie critic, and I love watching Black films and television from all around the world because I believe it's important for us to celebrate the Black diaspora and embrace each other's unique lineage, right? Black people are all around the world. We're not the same. We have different ambitions, and we have different cultures and traditions, and we don't all see everything exactly alike. So if you're one of those people who enjoy foreign films and want to know more about the world around you, then I would ask you to please follow this podcast, subscribe, share this with others as well. Now let's get into the highlights of the first series that I'm reviewing for 2022, and that is Netflix Lupin. It is a French film, and it's been divided into, I believe, 3 parts. The third part hasn't come out yet, and it's right now 2, part 1 and part 2. And it has, I believe, 5 episodes each, if I'm remembering correctly. Yeah, I believe I watched 5 episodes for part 1. So Lupin on Netflix stars Omar Sy. He plays our main character, Assane. And Lupin is actually based on a character written by Maurice Leblanc, which is a series of stories about Arsène Lupin, who is like a gentleman thief, who is the gentleman thief. And this is like a French classic. I believe that was written in the early 20th century. I've never read any of the books. I have heard of them growing up, but it wasn't anything that I was interested in reading. I was more of an avid reader when I was younger, but I was more into like Anne Rice. Rest in power, Anne Rice. Anne Rice actually did pass away, I believe a month ago. But anyway, side note. So yeah, Lupin is a bunch of stories. I believe it's a collection now of 25 books, and the 25th story, or I believe the latest story was discovered in 2011, and that has made 25 books now all together that are based on this character called Arsène Lupin. So that's what Lupin, the series on Netflix, is based on. So what I really enjoyed, or some of the highlights of the first series that stood out to me, was the fact that it was like a repolishing. It's a repolishing of a French classic, right? And they have decided to make the protagonist this black face who is an immigrant from Africa. And I thought that was something that should be highlighted. I don't know much about French culture, though I did take French all throughout junior high school and high school, and I do enjoy a lot of French movies. But as far as like the culture and the history of those who actually immigrate to France, I'm not too privy about. So I found myself watching this series and learning new things, and discovering new things, and then wanting to research more about like what was the connection, what's the relevancy to the actual film. So I actually like that. Once I realized that this was based on a classic French character and that they decided to make it a black face, I thought it was interesting. I mean, it's like, well, he's a thief. Why do you have to be black? But okay, whatever. For just the sake of bringing new life to something, okay, I applaud that. Another thing that I actually liked, which has to do with, the protagonist now being black, was that they referenced a lot of, I guess, like the racial attitudes of the French people, particularly with young Assane, who I believe arrives in France in like the mid 90s. Now, being someone who is a Black American, a foundational Black American, my ancestry is here. So I'm not an immigrant to any place, right? They like to say, oh, you're slave stock, you're from Africa. But in reality, I'm not. I'm culturally American, been here 400 years. So I don't know what it is to have to go somewhere, learn a new language, learn a new culture, try to fuse and, integrate with everybody, and being shunned. I mean, especially since I'm already in a country where everyone hates me already and then comes to the country and hates me, but that's just a completely different story. So, but again, being an outsider, watching that, I'm like, okay, so absolutely. It's really not a huge surprise to see that Black people all over the world, no matter whether they're going to France, to Europe, to Asia, to Australia, we're experiencing the same kind of level of vitriol and hatred. And just to see that, I guess, French cinema is highlighting that is something that should be spoken about. And it is something that is in the story. So it's something that you see throughout the episodes, just the racial attitudes, and to kind of see, because it's like the past and the present, kind of see that, the attitudes really didn't change that much. Of course, the whole interracial relationships in Europe and in France in particular seem to be something that's very open there. But again, I'm not from France, so I don't know. So if you're one of my French listeners, because I know I have a few of you, or if you've been to France or whatever, or you're French and you're someplace else, if you could share with me, is that something that is openly acceptable? Like, are interracial relationships just something that's accepted, not really a big deal? Is that a norm? Or is there like some type of history to that in France? And the third thing that I really want to highlight about the first series, or first series or season of Lupin, is the healthy relationship between father and son. And I don't think that's something that is highlighted in Black film, Black culture enough. And I don't know if that's something that anybody else recognized. So Assane had a strong father figure who took took care of him, nurtured him, showed him what it was to be quote unquote, I want to say perfect, but to make sure that he did things right, did them right the first time. And I don't want to say it was pressure, but he set a standard for his son. He also introduced him to the character of Lupin, and then you see that reflected later on when Assane has his own son. He shares the stories with him as well, and also has a healthy relationship with his son and with the mother of his son as well. And I think that gets lost in the story and the excitement of the story of meeting Assane and all the things that he's doing, or like the different heists and all that. I think that it gets lost that the fact that there is an actual healthy story behind that, healthy relationship of black man, black father to his son, which I thought was great as well. I don't know. Tell me if you agree, if that's something that if you noticed at all. But why you think over that? Like, is that something that you noticed? Or if you want to share some type of comment with me, you can, look for the link. But while you do that, we have another sponsor to this episode. So we're just going to take one moment to just say thank you to Spellbound as we share one of their ads. Have you kept up with your herbal health? Strengthen your body's immune system and natural functions with Spellbound herbals. Created in small batches, each herbal elixir is made from organic non-GMO plants and roots, organic honey harvested from New York State bees, and sealed in bamboo-covered glass to preserve freshness. Crafted to promote the specific needs of men and women, just a few drops in a glass of juice or water makes a world of difference to your natural health. For more details, visit the Spellbound Apothecary online at spellboundtoday.com and place your order. Also, for smokers searching for a natural alternative to tobacco, check out their herbal smoke blends, crafted from delicious flowers and plants that stimulate the mind, relax the body, and set the mood. Try enhancing your favorite bud strand with a few sprinkles of Third Eye Magic or Love Me Long Time. Available again at spellboundtoday.com. Oh, thank you, Spellbound. Again, that's our second sponsor. And if you are looking for some like natural herbal healthcare, you should definitely visit their website. Again, that is spellboundtoday.com. So I'm Fox Indigo, and you're listening to the first episode of 2022, and I'm reviewing Lupin season 1 and just discussing the highlights of the first season and what I enjoyed and what I disliked. So what did I really enjoy about this first season, which is like 5 episodes, I believe. Yeah, 5 episodes. Well, for one, I really like the international flashiness of it all. Again, being American, we don't have that flashiness. Like, there aren't like any queen's jewels here. There isn't gold that we, plundered from African civilizations. We don't have any of that. And so we don't have like the fancy museums with all like the stolen artifacts. So I did enjoy that flashy scandalness, the pricey cars, the chases, the old buildings, the old architecture. Don't have that here in America. And then I also forget that in other countries, there are completely different relationships, right? They have different relationships with different countries. Here, I'm just so used to America constantly. Our enemy is usually like Russia or China. Like, that's pretty much it. Every now and then we'll throw like a Middle Eastern in, but nothing really. And then nothing happens here on our soil. Only in movies do things happen on our soil. So to see again, like, oh, international scandal, and oh, they're having an issue with this country. it made me start thinking like, oh, is that relevant to what France is experiencing politically? Like, does it really have relevance? So I enjoyed that about the series. The second thing I really enjoyed about the series was how they wove in Assane's childhood with his present day life. So you could kind of see the reflection, the mirroring of either where Assane gained a certain skill, or maybe it was a reflection on like a past relationship and, excuse me, have a little gas, like a past relationship and what it might mean, you know, presently, or remembering what was said and the relevancy of the present. And they did like a really good job at slowly integrating that and weaving that together. Like nothing seemed completely abrupt. The third thing that I liked about it, besides how they integrated the past with the present, was the tension of Assane. So he is the reflection of this Lupin character who is a thief and a gentleman at the same time. And so Assane is this character, is this living embodiment of a character. And we see him do a couple of different heists and thefts. And it's a little nerve-wracking because, well, me watching this as a Black woman, watching a Black man commit some type of crime is nerve-wracking. One, he's Black, one, he's a man. And then three, it's like, you're really telling me that this Black man is pulling off these heists and nobody's even questioning him, just the fact that he is Black. So, but the tension of it all and the fact that he was pulling them off and he was getting away with them, that was great. It's very exciting. And the incorporation of Lupin, the Lupin story itself. So if you are not familiar with the books like I'm not familiar with the books. After you're watching it for a while, you do start to realize that the series is a reflection of what is happening or what has happened in the book, on top of the fact that the series kind of references itself or the books itself. So that made it exciting. That drew me into the story even more, to the point that I am thinking about starting to read the series. It's 25 books. And being someone who used to be a complete avid reader, it sounds exciting. And I kind of want to know more about the character and just how this 20th century classic has just now, all of a sudden, we're in the 21st century, just, you know, why did someone decide that they wanted to take this particular story and revamp it for just a new generation? And I'm just really curious, but I did like that. I enjoy that. I still enjoy it. I want to kind of know more. I'm curious to know if the series continues, are they going to take the stories from the actual series, or is the series going to take the stories from the books and actually make them a part of the world, the Lupin world? And another thing I enjoyed about it was that they celebrated the author, Maurice LeBlanc himself. So, like, for instance, I know that this man's birthday is December 11th. I only know that because they've referenced it like a number of times in the actual series. And so there's this homage to the writer, there's a homage to the book, and it just makes it all more exciting. It just makes you feel more invested in the characters. So they did an excellent job. I don't know what I was just trying to say right there. If you agree with me so far, please let me know. Leave a review about this podcast. Let me know if you agree with, do you think they did a good job with the tension building? Do you think they did a good job with celebrating like the author? is some of like the international scandal, is that actually relevant to like the French culture? I want to like hear from other people. Again, I know I have some French listeners, and even if you're in another country and maybe you've traveled a lot, maybe, you know, you're well read, I don't know, but I'm just really curious more about just French culture and just how is that playing into the film. And if you're African, how about this? If you're African living in France, or you're Black, you're living in France, I would like to know, what is your living experience? What is the cultural experience right now? And if you actually grew up in the 90s and you're still living there now, what are the cultural attitudes? Have they really changed much? Is the series accurate with how they're like depicting how people have reacted to the influx of immigration from Africa? Now, would I recommend this to watch? I absolutely would, because this is actually the second time that I watched the series, and I just thought like I need to do a review on this for 2022. Even though I know it's actually been out since 2020. And I know a lot of people did watch it, but then I saw that a lot of people haven't watched it, which was really surprising. So I actually recommend this to anyone who's into French culture. I recommend this to any Black person just all around the world, Mexico, Brazil, here in the United States, you know, if you're over in Asia, wherever you are, Black people, because we're spread all over. This is probably one of the best series that we have out there with a main Black character. Now, the story obviously is not necessarily Black because it is based on a white French character, but the lead actor, Omar Sy, is a beautiful Black African man. And he's really playing this very debonair, handsome, likable character, and it's nice to see for once. It's nice, yeah, it's just nice to see. I don't want to say for once, because you do see other Black characters, but it is very rare that they're positive. They're not like the stereotype of being angry, being vicious, being irresponsible. Like, this is a man that, you know, does have some type of issue, as we all do, but he is still likable. He still has a code. He still loves his family, and he still wants to do right. So I want to say, yeah, that's probably one of the biggest highlights. So I recommend this movie to definitely watch again and share. And if you have watched this, I want to know why you haven't shared it. Please share, and also share this podcast. I would appreciate that as well. You know, stay tuned for, you know, more and more episodes, because I'm definitely going to do my best to stay consistent. We're going to have new episodes every Tuesday and every Thursday. So every Tuesday, you know, listen for the new series review, and then every Thursday, listen to the movie review. You know, there really isn't that much for me to say. I like to keep my critiques and my reviews short and sweet. You know, there are only so many hours of the day, and I really want you to go and watch whatever series or movie I'm reviewing. So I am Fox Indigo. You're listening to Fox on Flix, and stay tuned for more episodes. Again, Tuesday and Thursday. Fox on Flix with friends, and every now and then I will have a guest reviewing whatever it is that I am watching. And if you have any type of suggestions, there should be a link in the description, and I want to hear your review on Lupin season 1. And if you've watched season 2, or if you look forward to watching season 2. So yes, please, other suggestions. What are some some of the other movies or series that I need to watch that are Black influence or they're Black culture, they have a Black writer, Black cast. That's what I'm interested in. Like I said, we're sharing and celebrating the Black diaspora from all around the world, our unique lineage. Okay. So, I will see you, or you will hear from me on Thursday with a movie review. I am Fox Indigo. This is Fox on Flix with friends, and I appreciate your time. Until next time, love, kisses, and hugs, and that's a wrap.